Hey, today we're going to put in a set of headlamps into the Goldwing, the GL1800. This is a 2007. Replacing the headlamps isn't too difficult. You can replace them with any H7 headlamp. I'm going to use the Sylvania Echo Bright. They're supposed to use less electricity, so theoretically that might be a little better. One of my headlights burned out, so I'm going to actually replace both lamps because I don't have the same brand that went in originally. First thing you do is you put them up on the twins on the center stand so your bike is nice and level. Next thing you need to do is turn your handlebars to one side or the other. It doesn't really matter which one you start on. I'm going to start on the left, and if you take a look right down in here, you will see there is your main headlight attachment. We're going to go there. You can either reach through the front if your hand is small enough and do this. I'm going to reach from the underside because my hands don't quite fit this way. If you take a look, you'll see that there's a rubber boot and some wires. We're going to pull that clip off, pull the rubber boot off, and then there's a spring to release the headlamp. Okay, here's a look at the rubber boot. You can see the two little tabs. When you reach in to remove it, just grab a hold of one and pull gently but firmly. They will just come right off. Be sure you've removed the electrical clip first, and now you can see in there that the wires are hanging free. Get that wire out of the way so you can get a better look. There we go. And then what we're looking at now, that is the back of the lamp itself. And you'll see the little wire that wraps around. That is what holds everything in place. Just pushing down on that is going to pop everything free. So let me pull that out and I will show you what the light looks like. Okay, here's what the actual lamp assembly looks like. The black piece right here, this is an adapter that adapts it to whichever device you're working on. In this case, this is for the Goldwing. The silver piece and the glass is the lamp itself, and you can see in the package how that's going to look. Be sure not to touch the glass. Now, this is the old one, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to throw it in the garbage. But just as good practice, keep your hands off the glass because any oils off of your fingers or dirt will get extremely hot when the lamp is working and burn your light bulb out very quickly. So what we need to do now is remove this by wobbling it back and forth, and out it comes. And there we go, the two pieces. This piece is going to remain with the bike. This piece is going in the garbage. Okay, now I'm about ready to put the two pieces together. You'll notice there's a tab on one side. That tab needs to line up with the tab on either side of the holder. Make sure it seats all the way around. Easy squeezy. We are ready to put this back in the bike. Alright, I wanted to give you a look just before you put this back in. You can see the wires are hanging down. You can see the clasp is pushed out of the way. Now you got to be careful when you do pull that clasp, but the light bulb's just going to drop right out into your hand. If the old one hits the ground, it'll probably break. It's not a huge deal. Sweep it up carefully. Make sure you don't get any on you. But it's generally better not to let them drop. When you're putting the new one back in, be very careful. Don't touch the glass. That's really important. And you definitely don't want to lose your grip and drop it. But when you do put it in, the wire catch just pushes down into place over the back, and it. Okay, originally I was going to go from the underside, but my hand actually does fit okay once I turn the handlebars enough, so I've been doing all my work from the top. The main reason is I can actually look in every once in a while and see. A lot of this you got to do by feel anyway. So if you do have to go from the bottom, it's not that much more difficult. You can just stand up and take a look if you need to look. Now I'm just about to clip the light in place. When it goes in, the tab that you saw on the silver ring, that points towards the top. I'm not sure if you can actually get a good look, but you can kind of see that tab sticking up at the top right there. And over on the side, we're about to put that hook in place. You'll see there's a little notch on the bracket right below the screw. The little hook on the end of the wire goes into that hole and slides under. That's what holds everything in place. If I were to bump the bike right now, it could fall out, so I would not recommend dilly-dallying too long while you've got it disassembled and unconnected like this, because I don't want that light bulb to fall out and get broken. So the last thing is I have to push that in, and then I'm going to put the rubber boot back on and plug the wire in and give it a try, and then I will repeat the process on the other side. Okay, so far I've only replaced the one side. You know, I'm sure you're not going to be able to see any difference in the two headlights. On this side is the factory headlight, the factory original headlight. On this side is the light we just replaced. I'm sure you can't see any difference. I can barely see any difference. The new light bulb is slightly brighter. Looking at the wall, I don't see any difference. When it gets dark, hopefully I'll see a difference. If not, at least it's not going to be any darker than the original was. We should be good. Now I'm going to do the other side. There's no need for you guys to stick around and see this. Changing one side took me approximately 10 minutes, maybe a little less, not counting the time I stopped to play with the camera. That's how we change a headlamp. If you needed to change the high beams, they're the secondary set of lights up here. Still the same H7 headlight, but it's a little more complicated. You have to do some disassembly to get to that. Hopefully you don't have to worry about it. They don't burn out very often. You can get these H7s at your Honda dealer. You can get them at pretty much any automotive store. These are a standard car headlight. Just make sure they're an H7 and you should be good to go. Have a good day, guys.